we are back home, got everything out of the box. Today we are not going to be boring you guys with every single step on how to mount the rough country high winch mount to the Bronco. They do supply a QR code here that will take you directly to a website that will give you step-by-step directions, really well-detailed directions on how to mount this step-by-step if you want to follow that. Today I'm just going to kind of give you guys some pointers of as far as if I run into any kind of issues, what you guys can do to avoid those issues as well. I do have a detailed video on the channel where I remove the plastic bumper and convert it to a capable bumper. So if you want to check that out, I'll link it up here somewhere on top. If you have sensors, you have to relocate them to the top of the winch mount here. So we had to take the bumper completely apart just to relocate the sensors. And luckily it does come with these harness extensions, so which is a good thing. But if you don't have those, you're in luck. You don't have to take the bumper completely off, just 4 bolts. It does come with hardware or these block off plates that you can block off here if you don't have the sensors. And also, if you choose this kit, you can either choose it with or without a 20-inch LED bar here for the front. I chose to go without it, so it does come with this nice little piece that kind of goes in place of it. As far as the winch goes, guys, OpenRoad, never heard of them. Well, they've been around for a while. They are been basically in the Jeep Wrangler scene. Never really tested out any of their products. This is my first time. This is my first time actually mounting any kind of winch actually to any vehicle. So if you've never installed a winch, you're right there with me. I've never used one, never mounted one. So this is my first time. We are going to learn together. So yeah, it shouldn't be that hard. It's basically just 2 wires, red and black, plug them to the battery, mount up the winch, and then we are going to learn how to use this today. I do want to go out and get this thing stuck somewhere and see if we can get it out with this winch. Hopefully. I want to get stuck. I want to definitely use this winch. I want to see what it can do. If I don't get stuck, I have a buddy who has a CRV who wants to go mudding. Just picked one up basically and wants to go somewhere and have fun. So maybe later on we'll get him stuck and we'll pull him out. We'll see. I don't know. Let's go. Let's get into the video. So a little bit of advice here. Once you disconnected the sensor from the back and pulled it off and you have the harness loose in the back, you don't want to connect this harness to the back and then try to fish this through the inside, because this connector is not going to fit through here. So what you want to do is you want to fish this side of the connector that's going to connect to the stock harness through the hole. That's the only way it's going to fit. So I found out that the hard way. I did it the other way. So we need to fish this through here. It doesn't tell you the directions, it just tells you to connect it. Fish this through here, and then we'll connect it on the other side, and we'll leave this hanging. So then we'll connect this on the other side, like so. Now we have it loose here. Do the same for the other side. All right, guys, we got the bumper mocked up on the Bronco here, and got the winch mount also mocked up on the bumper. Now, next up is to cut the plastics, the tow hook cover plastics, so they fit, because now the winch mount is in its way. So the directions online, they tell you to basically, I'm kind of marking mine off with some, black tape, or black marker, that's all I had available. So inch down from the top, 1.5 inches over, all the way down until you get to 2 inches from the bottom to the top. And we're just gonna cut along this line here, get rid of this part here. I'm gonna try to cut towards the inside edge of the line, so if I need to trim a little bit more, I can, little by little. I don't want to have a big gap, but basically that's what they want us to do on these covers here. Let's trim this up. All right, test fit. Pretty good. We'll leave it alone and move on to the next step. All right, now it's time to disassemble the sensors here and put them into the actual mounts here into our new housing. Remove this seal off the front, locate the new foam seal, tape that onto the sensor plate housing here. This here is gonna basically apply the pressure to the back of the sensor, but we need to attach this foam on the back of it. So this basically just goes on here like this. Align that little hole with the little slot. And we'll pull that out of there like that. All right, once you get the foam piece on the sensor, we can go ahead and get our bracket, and it's basically gonna go on like so. We're gonna go ahead and grab the new housing, and you wanna make sure that the new housing lays flush onto the new bracket. It does have these little slots here, and the housing itself has slots as well. Just line those up so it sits nice and flush. Grab our new locking nut, slide that on the back, and just snug it down with your hands. You don't wanna over tighten it too much, strip it out. All right, now we can go ahead and push this on. We can mount this basically to the housing. All right, with this secured now and flipped around on the back side, we can go ahead and install the sensor. You want to install the sensor with the connector facing towards the inside of the assembly. You don't want this facing out like this. So we go ahead and install the sensor all the way in. We can go ahead and install this. This slides on, and basically this little foam pad here is going to apply pressure to the back of the sensor, holding it in place. And it's got these locking tabs on top that will secure it. Once you hear it click, then you're good to go. But yeah, that's how you connect those, and we'll move on to the other side. All right, so we got both sensors mounted onto the winch plate themselves, and this is the time where you could mount up your fairing. But like I said, I'm gonna do this in a separate video. I'm gonna do the winch install in a second video, so this will be a two-part video. For now, let's go ahead and get this winch, high winch mounted up and secured. Now it's time to the inside to the top. This is how they want us to mount it via the instructions, so that is how we are going to do it. Go ahead. Now we got that mounted, grab our connectors from the bottom, run it through this hole right here on top, and we'll make our connections onto the connector here, or the sensor on each side. All right guys, the mount is all installed and it looks good. I did have to trim a little bit more on the actual tow hook cover here. You know, I had to cut like a little relief in the actual cover for this to actually sit flush, which I'm not too happy with this, but the way it looks. But all in all, it looks really good. Everything went on pretty smooth. Didn't run into any kind of problems. So now up next is, in the next video, like I said, I'll be mounting the OpenRoad winch onto rough country high mount winch, and we'll be testing it all out together. We're gonna see how well this actually all kind of works together. And like I said, I've never done a winch before, so this is my first time trying one, installing one, and actually operating a winch all together. So we'll see how easy all this goes together and how it works. And like I said, I will be testing this out. I will be going out and seeing if I can get stuck, or even my buddy Bo, see if he wants to get stuck and see how well this will pull him out. So yeah, stay tuned guys. We'll see you guys on the next one.